Hello, crafty friends, and welcome back. Today I'm playing along with Mixed Media Mayhem, where we are to use stamps, circles, and yellow. I'm also playing along with Off the Board with Pineapple Papers, and today's suggestion was to use a quote or a meme, and so there you could see that I had that gold sparkly quote there that I believe it said something about if you something make life sparkle, but your dress or life may not always be perfect, but your dress can be. And so, what I'm documenting today is a few pictures from this past Christmas where some cute little dresses that my nieces wore as kids were being worn by my great nieces. So I'm going to pause on that story here and tell you what I'm doing. So here is my stamping, and I'm stamping on the yellow stars. So there's my yellow. Here's my stamping that I took this Studio Light stamp and used the Hickory Smoke archival ink and just took little bits and pieces of that stamp, stamped it in each one of the stars. And so now I have met my yellow and the stamping, and there you can see that this piece of ephemera is where my circles are going to come in. So I realized when I pulled out those pictures that I actually have two of the same picture. And so I kind of changed gears that I was originally going to use one in each of the circles. And here I'm looking to see if I can figure out which direction the scripty bits on the ephemera are going. And so I go ahead and stick that first picture down, and then I realize that the other picture is identical. So I put that one off to the side and decide to put the picture of the sisters. So the ones, I know it's difficult to see here, but the two in the back are the moms. And they were the first sisters that wore the dresses in the 80s when their mom made them. And so then the two little girls wearing the dresses now in 2025 are the daughters of one of my nieces. So in the picture down below. And then the picture at the top is my sister with her two granddaughters that are wearing the dresses that she made for her daughters. So just kind of a full circle moment. And so I sent a picture, or I sent a text to my sister and my nieces and asked if any of them had a picture of them in the pictures back in the 80s when they originally wore them as little girls. So I didn't glue down the top of that ephemera piece, so I'm hoping if I get a copy of that picture that I can resize it and make it fit in that circle. If I don't get that, then my backup plan is to take the actual quote that I pulled off of my Pinterest board, and I will print that in a smaller size and put that inside the circles. So I do have a backup plan, but I'm going to wait to see if they can find a picture and get that to me. So and really, the rest of the layout here that I pulled out some of the laser cut stars from the Vicky Bouton collection from last year by 49 and Market. And so if you haven't watched the other planning videos and the previous pages I have already created for my December documented album, that this was a class that I took from Janine, and she came to my local scrapbook store, Memory Bound, here in Ankeny, Iowa, and I was lucky enough to take the class, and we put the base pages together, and so now I'm just going through and adding my pictures to each of the pages. So that has actually helped make each of the pages so far come together pretty quickly. So I did use the banner strip there, cut it into two partial pieces, and wrote in very tiny writing what my story was with the dresses in the pictures. And so here's my title that it says The Story. And again, I'm making sure that I can pull that piece up, so I do just add liquid adhesive to that one end. And now I'm just going to add on the stars around that piece, and that is pretty much going to wrap up the work that I do with these tiny laser cut stars around the title. And let's see, and I think I wrap things up. Let's see, I have it here. The last little bit that I do decide to pull out some of the epoxy stickers from a couple years ago, and I do add a couple different epoxy stars along that star border to the right side. So that is going to be coming up here. And let's see, so here I give you a close-up like I'm done, and then I do come back and decide to, so I'm giving you the close-up of all the pictures, the two nieces, my two great nieces, and here's where I come in with those enamel shapes and add those on, and that pretty much wraps things up for this video. So if you have any questions for me, leave them down below. Let's see, I will have playlists for everybody playing along with Mixed Media Mayhem as well as Off the Board, and as well as my social media accounts. So thank you for stopping by, and we will see you next time. Bye.